Hi, I'm Cade.
Are you sure?
I'm Cade.
And I'm Kit, and we are real people.
Doing real reviews.
And we just got back from the theater. We went to Cineplex's VIP theater here in Calgary to go and watch Blackbag. And we looked online, and the reviews were quite high. So we were,
Hi.
we were like, okay, it's a thriller.
Which I like.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to speak for you. I like a good thriller, so I was into it.
Yeah, we ordered our food to our beautiful heated chair, which was fabulous, and started watching the movie. And great casting, right? Let's start with the positives. Let's start with the positives.
The positives.
There's some great Kate Blanchett's in it, so there's that. Pierce Brosnan, also, and some other people. And so we started watching it. The premise of the movie is that we are starting out by viewing a marriage that is inside of a government organization that kind of comes across like a CIA or like internal spies. Yes, something like that. And you're seeing them kind of go around a table, and she's mentioning like, oh, at the table, what are we trying to figure out? We're trying to figure out, is there going to be a mess to clean up? Is there something? And so you can tell that this is something that they've done before, as a couple. And they make a beautiful meal. You can tell that he's quite meticulous. And
Yes.
there's like, he gets like the tiniest little splash of something on his sweater, and he's like, I need to change. And in before the dinner, the only scene that happens is that a friend of his, potentially also inside of I want to call it like the academy or like inside the CIA, goes, hey, something has moved on one of our, projects that we're working on. There's 5 suspects. Your wife is one of the suspects. And then it cuts to this dinner. So we're sitting around this dinner with these suspects on this list of something that they had been moving on a project. And the reason why he's sitting there is that he's like, I want to play a game and to see how they lie. And it sounds like, according to how this is coming across, that he's like the king of the polygraph. Like, he can catch a liar more than anybody else. And that's maybe his role at the CIA or FBI. And he goes from there. Then what happens?
Yeah, so obviously the dinner, they unfold some like content about each of the characters, which then kind of plays out throughout the actual whole movie. Like, these are the key kind of players of the full movie and how they interweave into each other's lives. And
so a lot of infidelity, a lot of adultery, and a lot of them feeling quite jealous of this marriage of the two people that are. There's like an underlying like, ugh, they have it figured out and they have everything, and they can't believe that they even would want more, even want promotions, because they already had everything that you would ever want out of life.
Right. Yeah, actually, that's a good point, because the whole movie, everyone's kind of questioning the two main characters' relationship in their marriage and how they make it or interact with other people, or in the event that they've done something wrong, will the other one cover up for them, or will they turn them in? Like, it's like this whole, basically, that's the whole movie. And Seed. Thank you. Thanks to watching.
Oh God. So that they have the dinner. You see some like, okay, there's some fighting that happens because of the infidelity that gets brought up. They're at work the next day. You see them all working in different like layers of security within this office. They find out that the character on the scene before the dinner had died, had been killed. And they were like too young for a heart attack, don't you think? Something happened there. And he was poisoned. And so then it looks like they are targeting the wife is maybe doing something wrong. And they're kind of watching the husband to see what the husband
say anything.
Yeah, say anything, do anything. And what would they say do to make it happen? It's kind of, it feels like, okay, he's going to observe her to see, is she lying to him? And again, he's like the king of the polygraph, king of like these things.
But also, too, in the midst of it, like the way that they filmed it, it makes it feel like he's checking up on her.
Yeah, suspicious of her.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
Like never once when they're together, it's like a quarrel or bickering back and forth, but like the whole movie, he's like checking up on her. Like they do like the drone camera to see where she is.
Yeah, she's out on a mission. He's watching her on a drone.
He's watching her kind of thing. And so you feel like he's trying to catch her in a lie, actually, in the beginning, which is also interesting.
Yeah.
Because they lead it that way. And then he's just like, I would do anything for you. Like it kind of comes out where he's like, I would,
I'm checking to protect you.
Yeah.
But you're kind of like, I kind of believe him. Like, I think he would do anything to protect you.
Yeah, actually, which is also funny because he doesn't like liars the whole movie. He comes out and says that. But like also too, like he's very believable in every action he's doing. He's not a liar.
Yeah, he's not a liar, no.
Yeah.
So as he is kind of following her and the storyline's progressing, we're finding out that like, okay, so there's like a therapist, there's other agents, and they all kind of know about this one project. And this one project is like something that can kill, I think, 10 to 20,000 people if it was unlocked, and it's an internal hard drive that would melt a whole system. It would break up a war. It would do all kinds of things. It was a great idea, but of course, it would injure so many people that they squashed it. But now it's out, so that the plot thickens. Now it's out. How did it get out? And it's something to do with those people who are around this table, but who? And so you're like, well, maybe it's her because we're watching her this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with her? And so we get to a scene where he has been, watching her on a satellite. She comes home from Zurich. It looks like there was a scene where like there was a bank account under one of her aliases that has $7 million on it. My gosh, did she sell like this, hard drive? What happened? They're having a conversation. They're laying in bed, and he's like, I think we're both being set up. I think that my actions would always be to protect you, and then your actions would be to not say anything about me. This is both people being set up. Let's bring everybody back to the dinner table and see what happens. So they do bring everybody to the dinner table. They're all sitting around.
Yeah. And actually back to the first dinner, they start and they're like, we're going to play a game. And it's like, tell me a New Year's resolution of the person to your right, which unlocks several secrets. So this time in the dinner table, she's like, let's play a game. The first the liars at the table will not leave the table. And she throws a gun down on the table.
And you're like, oh, okay. So if I were sitting at the dinner table and this was the person that I was making the resolution for, I would be making it for Cade. And he would have to like take that, probably have some type of argument with me, and then go to the next person. Yeah. So let's say I was making the resolution of I'm going to quit smoking, and you don't smoke, fine. And then you'd be like, well, I didn't know you knew about that or something. And you're like, oh, and so it's everybody's kind of giving up a little secret while they go around a table. And that's how he's monitoring how people lie. So when they're asked to play a game again, they're like, okay, we've played games here before. Like, we know what these guys are about. Yeah. So the liar can't leave. And then this gun gets tossed down. They're like, okay, what is up here?
Yeah. So then the guy, he asks very specific questions to each of them. And they find the actual person who's set them up, and
he's the one that sold the little chip thing that can melt the world. He's the one that was like, I'm going to make it against these two, a little bit out of jealousy and resentment. He's the one that like is realizing that he had been sleeping with the therapist, and she had also been sleeping with somebody else at the table, but she was just doing it because she was like, just in case I ever need leverage. And she was doing it as a manipulation as well. As a therapist, very interesting.
Well, it was interesting. The whole group kind of leveraged against each other, except the couple. Yeah, they were very much like closed to them. Like they had their own people, and they used other people's secrets for each other.
Yeah. So then the person confesses. The person, he's like, I
did it.
I could, and it would have been great. And he grabs the gun and he tries to shoot one of the couple, but it was the wrong gun. And she had the real gun. She shoots him. He dies. And then they roll him up in a rug, drop him off in the lake, continue on. Throughout all of it, we find out that the main character of girl's superior was in on it. So she's advising him to leave. She's going to take his job, which there's a little foreshadowing of that earlier. And you're like, she's going to take that guy's job. She's much smarter than him. And we move forward. Our overall viewpoint of this, and I was saying to you after, I was like, this movie has a lot of the elements that I really love. I love seeing, an inside point of view of like a spy community working the inside of like somebody that's trying to infiltrate and winning. So like they're inside some of the most elite, like I guess like liars, people in their industry as possible, and they're still smarter than everyone there, so much so that they can manipulate on the inside. Really great acting on that point.
Because they're using their own little, like there's tidbits where it's like off the books, kind of like secrets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just between you and I, just under confidentiality, I just under this and that. And so I like seeing that. Loved the acting. Like I said, the casting was really, really great.
Really good.
We thought the set dressing beautiful, very believable. Head office, very beautiful. Like home that this couple lives in, it feels like they live there and that they have a warm kind of life there. You see their hobbies throughout like the garage and things like that. We also felt like little bit like it was an Audi and Mercedes-Benz ad the whole time. Constant viewpoints of like the logos of the
high-end brands.
High-end brands and very like in your face. Like even she's driving home from the airport and it's like the Audi dealership sign or like a solid 5 seconds. We're like, got it. Audi. Like
Audi wins, yeah.
Yeah, and same thing with like the vehicle is parked up front. She has her Mercedes Jeep, and then the bad guys that are in the Jeep that get blown up, they're in the Jeep. It's like the same. We're like, okay, got it. Mercedes Jeep. Like these two. So we felt like there was a little bit, it was poor commercialization. They could have been a little bit more discreet. But I don't know if Audi funded the whole movie.
You don't know. And it got across the line. Hey, buy an Audi.
Yeah, yeah, look at us. And now we're promoting it. Here it works. It works,
Yeah.
But I did feel like that some of the commercialization was a little bit. We could even see like the brand of the baking utensil was very much in frame when he's like making a casserole or a meat dish, and the nice brand, everything was very seen. Which again, I don't mind a little like in-screen marketing. I just feel like for me, I like when it's not so obvious and repeating the same kind of message. It takes away from me. Yeah. When we were leaving the theater,
that was the only thing that I took away from the movie.
Sure. Also, would you want to make the comment of what the guy said leaving the theater?
So we're leaving the theater, and we're asking real people how they or what they think about the movie, because we're like, hey, this got really great reviews from
on a creative aspect,
people already out in our realm industry of people. And he's like, yeah, I hear it's great, but I feel like it's Mr. and Mrs. Smith without the action. And I said, not my words. Not my word.
Like,
God, I agree with that.
Where's the guns ablazing? No guns ablazing.
Honestly, actually, no real action in the movie.
Mostly drama.
Yeah. Which, yeah. Now that I think about it, I'm like, a good fight scene may have lifted it for me.
You think?
Yeah, because like we didn't even, like, what did we see? A stab to the hand and a shoot to the head?
Didn't even really see the shoot to the head. It was just like the splatter, the squid on our wall. Which, for thriller, right, for that label, I think we maybe had higher expectations for a thriller. If it had been listed as a drama or a dark drama, maybe we would have been like, yeah, that checks. But because we thought it was going to be a thriller, we were waiting for the thrill. Like, what is the thrill? Even the scenes that were supposed to be a little bit more menacing or look like foreshadowing that something may happen, like he's out in a boat with somebody and brought his gun with him, like maybe it still wasn't.
It didn't last.
Yeah, we didn't. Not that we were nervous for that person.
Actually, no, because he was out in a boat with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our overall review, Cade?
I rated it a 5. 5 out of 10.
The acting, I maybe give it a bump more, maybe a 5.5. But for us, for Cade and Kit reviewing this, we felt like maybe.
Listen, not a bad movie, but I wouldn't watch it again.
I wouldn't watch it again. Yeah, we're not saying it's trash, which, you have seen us do those reviews. Cade and Kit rate it trash, right? And you've also seen Cade and Kit reviews where it's our choice, it's our top pick. But for this one, it kind of like landed in the middle or less. And so yeah, we don't like doing reviews like that, but that's the truth of going to spend this money to go to the theater and you get your babysitter and you go out and you're gonna have a night and you're gonna sit down and do it. If you don't like too much gun or action that way, or you don't like gore, great, then you'll think this movie is really great. If you love drama, just a great dark drama, this is amazing for it. But if you're looking for a thriller that has some action in it, this isn't the movie for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd wait for it to go home.
Yeah, like out on streaming?
Yeah.
Out on streaming. Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Kip.
And I'm Cade,
And we're real people.
doing real reviews.
Thanks, guys.